Yo, what's up guys and welcome back to the channel. My name is Vince and you might be asking, why am I wearing a shirt, right? It's not the usual from me. Well, today I actually have my prom, so I thought why not make this video a little bit more special and wear a shirt. So I'm gonna be doing that throughout this video. But in this video, I'm going to tell you about the top 3 lessons that I learned from building an online business at the age of 18-year-old. Now, in the title, it says successful online business just because I want people to click on the video, right? But yeah, it has made over 6 figures, but I still don't really consider that successful. I mean, in entrepreneurship, I would say like once you're doing 7 or multi 7 figures, then I would say you're doing okay, right? But there is so much further to go, so I just want to put that out there so nobody thinks that I think that I'm hot shit and stuff like that, because I'm really not. I'm just in the beginning phases of my journey. But when I was just starting out at 14, 15 years old, I was looking at videos like this all the time. I just wanted to make 6 figures a year, right? That was the ultimate goal. In fact, my first initial goal was to just make 3.5k a month, and I thought that would be the end all be all. But yeah, anyways, like as you grow, you progress, your goals get bigger, all that good stuff. But in this video, I just wanted to share kind of the main things I've learned over the past few years. And obviously there are way more lessons that I've learned than just these 3, but in this video I'm going to share 3 with you. So let's get into the first one. Business is about people, and the better you get at communicating with people and understanding people and also making people feel understood, the more money you are going to make in business. The better you get at managing people and like I said, communicating with them, the more you'll make. It's so important to learn about psychology, how people think, how to communicate with people, and just stuff like that, that I think it's way more important than these small little tactics and the internet marketer things that people love to talk about, like what your funnel should look like or what your offer should look like. And I'm not saying those are not important, but at the end of the day, business is about people. It's about people, doing things and exchanging time for money. And basically your job as an entrepreneur is to organize people in a better way than other people can do it, and to create greater value basically than what you are paying for the people you're working with, right? It's to get the most out of people in a way that's hopefully enjoyable for your team as well, and just give people a sense of direction of something they are going towards, and something that is worth working towards, right? So that's my number 1 lesson, is that focus more on learning about people, how people think, how to communicate with them, how to make people feel understood, and how to make people feel good, right? And then that way, if you can learn that, people will gladly help you on your journey as well, and help you towards the goals that you have as well, and that you have as a collective for your business. So that is lesson number 1. Business is about people. Lesson number 2 is that life is seasonal, and just like there are seasons like winter right now and spring, summer, there are seasons in business and just life in general as well, right? There are seasons of growth where you are really just planting and growing the seeds, and there are seasons of reaping the rewards of that. And you really need to learn how to switch between these 2 seasons and how to transition between them, how much time you should be spending on each of these seasons, and just be aware of the fact that even you are in one of these 2 seasons, because I think these are 2 main seasons. It's either you're growing something, you're planting the seeds and you're sacrificing some of the fun stuff for a little while, or you are reaping the rewards from your previous work and kind of just trying to maintain what you have built so far. And the reason why I think it's so important to make a distinction between these 2 seasons and transitioning between these 2 things every couple of months is because you cannot really do both at the same time. You cannot really be just enjoying yourself and, living the 4-hour work week and also growing something at the same time. I believe that if you want to progress in something, then you need to make sacrifices and you need to focus on that thing and put some other things in the back burner for a little bit. And if you want to really enjoy yourself and just have fun, then I think you need to just maintain the business and put the systems and structures in place so it doesn't die off, but you cannot really grow it when you are having fun. At least that is my perspective on this. Obviously everybody can do things however they want to, but that is kind of my personal perspective on this. And lesson number 3 for me is that simple is better than complex. Simple scales better than complex, and just simple and basic things are usually what work the best. And I have made this mistake over and over again, thinking that the more money you want to make, the more complex whatever you're doing has to be. The more services you need to offer, the more products you need to offer, the more customers you need to be working with, the more like social media channels you need to have. And you just, I was always just thinking that if you want more bottom line and you want more revenue, then you need to do more things. When in fact, what I kind of learned and what has been my experience is actually the less things you do and the more focus you get at perfecting those fewer things, the more money you will make. And the more things you try to do and the more complex you make things, the less money you will likely make and the worse results you will be able to get for your customers, right? So that has been my experience with this. And it's just simply something that I've seen the best entrepreneurs nailing, and they don't have super complicated business models. Usually they don't have super complicated products. It's usually just one thing that they first try to perfect, and sure, once that's doing really well and they have a team in place who can grow it for them, and they just are kind of like a chairman in that space and an advisor of the business, then they can focus on something new and grow that as well. But they usually don't do a ton of things at the same time. So people love to, use Elon Musk as an example of the fact that you can do many things at the same time and still be successful at it. And sure, there are exceptions to the rule. And, let's not forget that Elon Musk is both a genius and a crazy person at the same time, who's sacrificing basically everything he has for his work. So that's probably not you. There is like a really, really small chance that you are like Elon Musk, okay? And also, let's not forget that he still started by focusing on one thing. The first initial big win that he had, which was selling PayPal, he was only building PayPal at the time and then got a nice bag from that. And then he started really just building out multiple businesses around his passions and interests. But he didn't start building multiple things. And even he says that it was not a smart decision to start, SpaceX and Tesla at the same time, because there was a really high chance of both of them completely failing. So yeah, please try to focus on one thing when you're just starting out. Make it as simple as possible. Just sell like one, max 2 products, one marketing channel, and just one customer avatar, like one dream niche and a group of people that you want to help, and just be as focused as possible and make it as simple as possible, because that is going to allow you to make progress fast. And then once you have made a lot of progress and hired the team and all that stuff, then I recommend starting multiple things, because this is a mistake that I made, right? And again, I'm not saying you have to do this. I'm at the end of the day, I'm just an 18-year-old guy who's been interested in business for a couple of years and has done a couple of things, but, take it for what it is. I'm not claiming to be the biggest business expert or anything like that, but I do try to learn from people who are much more ahead of me, and these are some of the principles that they usually say and teach as well. So I'm just kind of a communicator and a messenger here, and also sharing from my personal learnings and experiences, right? It's been definitely a journey to build a business that is at least like something that I can do full time and live a really nice life with at this age. I think we usually see so many people on social media who are insanely young and doing really well in their businesses, and we think that that is the normal, but it's not. Like, when we are being objective and when we take a broader look at the world and just kind of break out of the online marketing niche, then we see that there aren't that many people who are actually successful with their businesses at a young age. And I think that's important to remember, because we have so much time. If you are a young entrepreneur, like anyone under 25 or 30, I consider young, we have a lot of time, and you don't need to get it all right at first, because the people who you see on YouTube and Instagram who are making, millions at a young age, they usually had a really unique circumstance that got them to that point at that age in their life. And you cannot really compare your journey to their journey. Maybe they had a completely different upbringing and set of values and all those things. And also, it's so easy to make yourself look much bigger on social media than what you actually are. Probably, I would say 80 to 90% of people who you see on Instagram and YouTube, if not more, aren't actually doing as well as they display it online. You can rent supercars for a couple $1,000 a month. You can rent really nice apartments for a couple $1,000 a month, and you can basically display an insanely luxurious lifestyle for probably 10 grand a month and kind of claim to be making 7 figures or whatever, when that might not be the case at all, and you might be just barely getting by and you're on the verge of being broke and going broke, right? So I just wanted to put this message at the end, because if you are a young entrepreneur, if you are ambitious, I personally always been like, I want things as soon as possible. I am insanely impatient in the short term, but at the end of the day, it's, I think, valuable to remind ourselves that life is quite long if you aren't wasting it, and if you are trying every single day to improve your life. And it's a really, really small percentage of people that actually get success at an insanely young age. Most people who are successful are in their 40s, 50s, 60s. So just keep perspective of that. But I would say still push as hard as possible and try to enjoy the journey as much as possible if you are young, because I think it's worth it. It's really fulfilling. And yeah, that's pretty much all I had for today. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you liked it. And if you want to see more content like this, subscribe to the channel. And I will see you guys in the next one.